This is going to be a quick look at version 2 of the Button Controller 360 package. We're going to look through some scripts, some new functionality, so let's go to it. So first off, basic functionality, you can click Create Button and it'll create a button. It's going to constrain that button to a sphere, and so if you look over here in the scene view, you can see it's basically going around us, it's facing toward the camera. You can now also turn on Edit Mode, adds this little handle to all the buttons, and you can resize them. They can overlap, and then turn off edit mode and you can move them around. And again, they'll stay constrained to the sphere. You can also save those buttons. So if we call this like test 3, you can load different states. So here's one that I did earlier. You can always look around by holding down the right click button and dragging to look around at all these buttons, create more, and you can always edit either the new ones or the old ones, resave it as a new file, etc. So let's take a look at what it takes to put this into a new scene or merge with another project. So I'm going to go over to a different instance of Unity. This is a brand new project. One thing that we need to do in order to use those nifty Windows dialogues for the saving and opening, we need this file right here, which is in C Windows Microsoft.NET Framework 64 v2.0.50727, and grab system.windows.forms.dll, drag it right into your assets folder. It'll take just a minute. All right, next up, we're going to import the package. The package is called 360 Button Placer v2. We'll import it all. It's going to create a folder called 360 Button Placer. Here we are. And in here, we've got our demo scene. So look at that. This is exactly what we saw before. If you have not used TextMesh Pro in your project yet, you'll need to do this and select Import TMP Essentials. That automatically pops up most of the time. If for some reason it doesn't, you can go to Windows, Package Manager, choose Unity Registry, search TextMesh Pro. It'll pop up right there and you can import it. All right, so now we need a little refresh. I bet if we click play that the text will show up. There we are. Okay, so also just to verify, even though this isn't a new project, we can still load the same data because it's all compatible, the same stuff we were working with earlier, and all the same functionality. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the stuff in here. So if we go to scripts, we've got 3 scripts. Camera rotation is not important. That's just what lets us right click and look around. Button Controller 360 is the main script. And you can see it's actually kind of lengthy. There's comments throughout the whole thing. I'm going to scroll through briefly just on the off chance somebody's looking at this in the future. You don't have access to the package. You can pause your video and try to recreate this script. And then the other script is this one right here, resize handle. This one's much shorter. All right, to set up your scene, you're going to need a couple things. You'll need a camera. Light is optional. Event system will need to be in there. 360 canvas. So this is actually just a world space canvas. So right click, create a canvas, and change it to world space. That's all you need there. Name it whatever you like. Creator canvas. This is just a regular screen space camera canvas. Again, just create a new canvas, set it to this, and then drag in your main camera to right here. This canvas is what has these buttons. So create, save, load, edit mode, delete mode. And these are all of those. Finally, we've got Button Controller 360, and this is just an empty game object that we dragged our Button Controller 360 script onto. So once that's on, now we need to attach our 360 canvas. So that world space canvas, drag it here. Here we need a button prefab. So this is what my prefab looks like. I just made it semi-transparent. You can make it look like whatever you like. If you're not familiar with how to make a prefab, you essentially just come over here. You can UI button, make it look like whatever you like, and then when you're done, you drag it down into your project folder, and now boom, it's a prefab. And so you could drag that in instead, and all your default buttons would look like that instead. All right, next up, resize handle. So similarly, we need a prefab. This one's a little different. So this is actually an image. So if you go to UI and choose image, and the one we're using is like something like a yellow square, and I think it's a little smaller. It's something like 0.2. And if you really want to see what it looks like, you can drag it onto these buttons and see, like, that's the size of that resize handle that'll appear. Once you have that set, you need to get it out of any canvas. It needs to be in this the root of the hierarchy, and then you can drag it down and make a prefab, and that's what you can add into the what you can attach into your button controller 360. Just a couple more to go. Main camera is easy. It's your main camera. Drag it in. Delete mode toggle and edit mode toggle are just these guys right here. So in your creator canvas, right click, create toggles, put them there. And finally, this number is the distance that the buttons will be from the camera. It's a default number. Based on how big your prefab button is, you'll adjust this and tweak and get it to be the size that you want for the default. That is pretty much it. The script, this button controller 360 script, has functions called each of these things, and so it's not too hard. If you want to make something new and create button, all you got to do is just come down, add functionality, drag this guy onto it, button controller 360, and look for create button. Save button data does the save button, load button data does the load button, and toggle delete mode and toggle edit mode right there. That is all of the functionality for version 2. Hope that helps. Enjoy.